Today we are going to discuss the different states of mind. When we analyze our mind, sometimes we find that we are very restless. Sometimes we find that we are very happy. Sometimes we feel we are very lazy. So it's all different states of mind. And the Buddha, who was a great scientist, he examined the mind. He broke it into parts. He tried to analyze each and every part and also different kinds of mind and different concomitants. Based on a study in the Buddhist literature, in the Theravada tradition, as well as in the Mahayana tradition, we can find that the Buddha has classified the different negative states of the mind into 5. So each whatever state of minds would fit into this 5. Now what are these 5? Let's find it out. The first one is a mind is in the state of Kama Chanda. Kama Chanda is a mind which is always wanting or lolling in sense pleasures. Whatever appeals to the eye or the ears or the mouth, whatever sense organs, we always want to loll in it. We want to, go on and on with it. And when that object, the pleasure object goes off, then we get into depression. That is the first, that is known as Kama Chanda or lolling in sense pleasures. The second one is ill will or Vyapada. Vyapada is having resentment for somebody. It could be a feeling of anger, it could be feeling of absolute hostility to somebody. So that is the second state of mind. The third state of mind, which is negative and which is not also, which is observed very regularly, is a state of Tina Mitta. Tina Mitta means laziness, torpor, sloth. This is observed especially when we are concentrating on something, or when there is when there is meditation, we start feeling sleepy. So this is the state of Tina Mitta. The fourth state is known as Udacha Kukucha. Udacha Kukucha means restlessness and worry. We are always restless. Our mind is not becoming stable on somebody, or we keep on worrying about things. That is a fourth state which the Buddha says our mind is always into that state. The fifth one is doubt or Vichikicha, wherein in this state we would always be doubting everything. Now it could be doubt in meditation, it could be doubt about the teacher or the teaching systems, or in general life it could be doubt about any particular activity. So all these 5 states of mind are adversities when one is meditating also. So Buddha has also given us different analogies for these 5 states of mind. So let us look at what are the analogies and what are the antidotes. What we should do when we are encountering such states of mind in normal life as well as in meditation. Let us go to the first one, which is the state of Kama Chanda. That is, we are into the state of sensual pleasures. In this, we would want to remain into that particular state wherein we would enjoy doing, or when we are listening to music and everything. Now, the Buddha and the different philosophers after the Buddha, the different teachers, have given the analogy for the sensual pleasures like taking a loan. When we take the loan, we enjoy it. But when we have to pay the interest, that is when we are away from, we have to pay the interest on the loan. So paying the interest on the loan is a displeasure. Now, how do we actually overcome this hindrance is what we should, in order to overcome this hindrance, one has to understand that we have to apply mindfulness to that this is going to be disappearing. We should have the knowledge of impermanence of the sensual pleasures. Once we understand that all things are transitory, then we would be able to overcome tell our mind that this a particular state of mind will go. Especially when meditation, we have to be very sure about applying mindfulness to the meditation. Let's go to the second one, which is vyapada, that is ill will. Now, in ill will, it is compared to being sick. Now, like one can't move about when one is unhealthy or sick. Similarly, the mind cannot become free of that particular sickness of being hostile. Now, how do we come out of this? Either we become angry at somebody else because of whatever behavior or whatever treatment that we receive, or we get ill will towards own self, and the third one is towards a meditation object. Now let us see how ill will can be treated. The first is towards other people. The best way, according to the Buddha, is to develop loving kindness. Now that is a state of mind which has to be developed. So one has to develop a lot of loving kindness towards the other person to get over this particular ingredient of mind. And it is an exercise which has to be developed, because the person to whom we are getting hostile is free of any resentment, but only we are getting affected by this restlessness. So the earlier we get out of it is the better. Towards oneself also, one has to practice loving kindness, be a little more gentle towards oneself. Then the third, towards a meditation object, is one has to again develop a lot of love like a mother would have towards a child. That is how you can overcome ill will and vyapada. Now the third one, that is tina midda. Now it can be compared to be like, the sloth and torpor. We are always lazy, we don't feel like getting up, we are very restless. Now it is like comparison to a dark cell, like a dark prison cell. We are unable to move freely into the bright sunshine. Now the antidote to this is by rousing energy. Very few people know how to put on the energy button. Now look at small children, how easily they can rouse the energy. So one has to draw inferences from small things and get the energy out of it. That is the best way to get out of this particular impediment, which is known as sloth and torpor. The next one is doubt, that is vichikiccha. Now in doubt, it can be compared to being lost in a desert. One doesn't, because everything is in a state of doubt. We are not having trust in anybody. Now the antidote to this is by gathering clear instructions. Like for instance, if we are lost, we have clear instructions. Give clear instructions to our mind so that one can recognize the subtle things, and clarity is required for overcoming doubt. Finally, we can overcome all these five impediments by simple principle of RAIN. That is, recognize it, accept it, investigate it, and non-identification with it. So friends, looking at all the teachings of the Buddha, the impediments are mentioned in many suttas by the Buddha. One can apply all this to our regular day-to-day life, and we can draw a lot of lessons. Personally, for me, it has benefited a lot. In each and every state of mind that I go through, I sit and investigate, and the lockdown has given me a lot of opportunities for sitting and investigating as to how different states of mind arise and how we can develop a better state of mind. May all beings be happy.